idea if my scheduled live video went live or not. Oh, jeez. I think it's still going. Finally, come on, come on, come on. There we go. We have comment moderation. You guys can talk. We're on our live broadcast now on Facebook, and we did Instagram, and I scheduled a live broadcast for everybody at 6 p.m. and I have no idea where it went. I'm so sorry. So let's start over. Let's try it again, because if you haven't seen that one, maybe you'll see this one. I am Tina Alexa. We are talking about Men in Business Week today. And we had a great interview on our podcast over at Spotify on Tuesday with Roger Godet, who is from Port Moody, British Columbia, in a networking marketing company. And it was really information, lots and lots of information of how he started into it, and the avenues that maybe we should look at being better prepared for. So I'm just going to do a brief summary, talk about the things that we discussed. And if you want to head over to the podcast, it's about 40 minutes long, and it's got some great information about networking marketing and businesses in general. And let's continue our summary. Thank you for coming out today. We've got a live broadcast every Thursday now on August and September. So stay tuned for Thursdays at 6 for your live broadcast. And we spoke to, this will be on YouTube as well. If you would like to watch it on YouTube, you can like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you everyone who has subscribed. I appreciate your subscription and your membership. We also have a Year Backup Plan Facebook group. It's a community, and it helps everyone kind of ask questions amongst each other. Maybe they have an issue with a parent or a child or family member or friend, and you can ask questions amongst each other on the Facebook group. So welcome today to our live broadcast on Facebook. And we are going to talk about men in business. My name is Tina Alexa. I am the creator and developer of Your Backup Plan app. And it's simple to use, easy 1, 2, 3. You can put it on your phone. You can put it on an Android or an iPhone. You can put it on a tablet or an iPad. And it's super easy to use. So, going further into Roger Godet's network marketing information, he talked about how he used to be in the military, how he became very sick and unhealthy and had to end up coming home back to Chilliwack, where he had gone to overseas for a while and got sick and ended up having to come back home to Canada. And he didn't really know what was wrong with them. He had a lot of cluster migraines. He talked about PTSD. He talked about depression, anxiety, and he spoke about his wife getting into this network marketing company, Kangen Water, and how that affected his health with drinking the water. He didn't believe in it. He didn't, honestly, I think he came head to head. He did not want to think that it was going to work, but it did. His health is amazing. He looks fantastic. He feels fantastic. And it was great to hear that he had some good health results from it. But in other words, they came up to something, got involved in a network marketing company, had streams of income coming in for them Whether you're self-employed or have a manufacturing company or a retail store, or you provide counseling or any type of other business services, network marketing is its own entity, because there's a lot of things you don't need to do in that type of business than you do when you're in the other types of business. And in general, men are supermen. They're never going to have anything happen to them. And I hate to tell you this, guys, but there is. We just don't know when something might happen. So why not be better prepared for yourself and for your family and friends and loved ones? Because if we're not prepared, they don't know what our wishes are. They don't know if, we're sick in the hospital for weeks on end or months on end or years on end, if you're ever going to be coming back to run your business. And we need to look at that. And each week in our podcasts and our live broadcasts, we are going to take a different type of business. It might be a brick and mortar business. It might be self-employed business. It might be a network marketing business. It might be men. It might be women. And we're going to look at all those types of avenues and how that affects us of not being prepared, and how can we have a better plan in place. So we talked about with Roger, and I'll have his links down below after the live broadcast has posted. You'll have his pages also for his websites. So Roger and his wife got involved in this network marketing company, and it ended up changing his life because he drank the water and became healthier than what he was having issues with before. So he became very passionate about helping other people, which is what we all want to do in our own business. And so if you're looking at a network marketing company, make sure it's something that you really trust, believe in, that you feel passionate about, because it will make your work easier. And it won't feel like work if you believe in it and that you love it. So those types of revenues come from a different stream of income. And so that's usually online. They would have like a network. They would have an online business account page. They would have, reports done every week, every month, every year. And otherwise, in your non-self, whether you're self-employed or non-network marketing company, if you have a brick and mortar company or manufacturing business, those reports all have to be done by your administration staff or an accounting company or bookkeeper. And so those are all done basically by you. So if you're not able to do the estimating, if you're not able to do the drawings, if you're not able to construct what you're supposed to be doing, if you're not able to talk to the clients or customers, if you're not able to do the retail side of it, if you're not able to do the traveling, these are all restrictions to what we need to plan for. And so what Roger was talking about basically was that if something happened to him in this type of business, he could then transfer that over to his team or to his wife or to his son to look after until he got better. So I want you guys to start thinking about how that could affect your business in the other world and how it would affect you personally, because personal information also ties into your business side of things. So we talked about not having a will and how that might affect you whether you're in any type of business. That's number one. And I want you to consider getting that will done as soon as you possibly can. We will have a segment of one of our podcasts that we're going to interview a lawyer who will talk about wills and trusts. So stay tuned for that. That will be in September. And whatever he says, it might pertain, or her, it might pertain to British Columbia, but some of the information is going to be the same for getting it done and the importance of getting it done for whether you live in UK or Europe or United States or Australia, etc. So these are kinds of informations that I'd like you to consider. Now, he talked about traveling around, international speakers. Him and his wife go to different parts of the world and talk about their business, do presentations, do a lot of online work. So we talked about how a disability would affect him and his wife. As we discussed that, we want to make sure that if you're in a different type of business, that you're going to look at that aspect, excuse me, and look at that, having it from who could handle your business if you were in the hospital or couldn't speak, or you couldn't talk, or you couldn't see, or whatever the issue is. So who would look after that type of role for you? And could you trust them? And would they take your clients from you? So we want to start looking at those types of things, and we will delve more into that in the future weeks of other types of businesses. But for the sake of a network marketing company, you can usually tie it into an individual that's close to you or your team who can look after things until you get better. Okay, so we also talked about not having any inventory. You don't usually have to have any inventory with network marketing companies. You can usually just go online and it gets shipped directly to your customer. So very few carry sometimes just the one product or one of each, because you don't really need to carry any stock or inventory on hand like you do in another type of business. So they complete all their orders online, which has become a little bit more popular now with our other types of businesses as well online, because we're not going into places as much as we used to during the coronavirus. And we need to look at how we can do or improve our current business by getting out to more people. And that's hopefully not with inventory, but it might be manufacturing. So that would be a lot of inventory that you'd have to have on hand, and you'd have to have employees and staff and shipping, and we'll be getting into that in another week's broadcast. So we talked about business succession planning, which is retirement or selling your business, and how they would do it in a network marketing company is when you first apply to a network marketing company to run that type of business, you should look at what their legacy planning is, because some of them are going to vary depending on what company that you pick and what type of transfer that they have. So that's very important to look at that, and whether it suits you or not, because if it doesn't, you better know about it now than when it's too late. Okay, so Roger knew about the succession planning. He felt that it was very good with Kangen Water, and that in another type of business aspect, we would actually have to do succession planning. And we would need the help with a bookkeeper or an accountant, and we would need to prepare some documents to either sell the business or have a partner come in to run the business, and perhaps you're going to semi-retire. So that type of thing we're also going to talk about in another podcast and another live broadcast. And I think that might be scheduled for October or November. I'm not sure offhand, but yeah, so that will be your succession planning. But for network marketing individuals that are part of that type of system, there will be a legacy where you can either transfer it to your kids or your spouse or another team member. So please look at that and how that looks and how the numbers look as well, because each company has their own legacy part and parcel. Okay, so we talked about if Roger was unable to do his business for being disabled, and how that would look. And he said that in network marketing, you can usually give that to a team member to look after while you recover, or you could give it to bring someone on board, like one of your kids or a family or friend then you could have them look after it while you're recovering. So that's kind of a nice team effort. You basically work with a community to ensure that that part is looked after. Whereas if you have a different type of business, you're self-employed, you have to consider how that will affect you if you're unable to work. Because what are your customers going to do? Where are your clients going to go? And you don't want them to set something up with another, say if you're a physiotherapist, you set it up with another physiotherapist and they end up taking all of your clients. We can't have that. So we need to do a little bit better planning, and we will be talking about that in another broadcast. So insurance, we talked about having different types of insurance in business, and you usually have to need a business insurance type of thing. You need a liability insurance in case someone gets injured or sick or whatever, hurt while they're coming in your front door. So with network marketing, Roger talked about not having to need the extra insurance because he does everything online. He does presentations perhaps at people's homes or in certain event halls or rooms, but there's no need for the extra insurances because you're basically you're not running your own business, so to speak, where you need your own insurance. So that's one avenue that's a lot cheaper to look at. Network marketing, you don't need to have that type of insurance. And I think that's very different. We'll be talking about the different types of insurance when you're self-employed or whether you have a brick and mortar or manufacturing business. But with network marketing, you don't need that extra. But you do need your own personal insurances, whether it's covering you for sickness or injury, or if you have a benefit package that you've put together, or whether or not you need life insurance. So those types of things you have to do for yourself, whether you're with a network marketing company or not. So that's something that you have to do on your personal level. We talked about building and property, if there was a fire or a flood, how that would affect us. And of course in BC, we know the true form of wildfires because we have many every year. It's very much a tragedy, very much a natural disaster, usually when they hit British Columbia or Washington State or California or Australia. There's hurricanes, there's storm surges, there's tornadoes. All of these types of things are going to affect our business because they also affect your personal life. And how do we get better prepared for those? So fire and flood, Roger talked about the networking company. Really, he only has to grab his phone. He only has to grab his iPhone or his iPad, tablet, his laptop, and what other personal items that you may need. But you're only given 5 minutes to get out. You have to evacuate in less than 5 minutes. So just think about if you had a plan that you could grab a certain bag, or you could have a plan where you had everything stored in a separate location, that would help tremendously. And I've had the personal experience in British Columbia where we had a 5-minute evacuation notice given to us. And at the, when you're running down the stairs and everyone's there saying you need to be given 5 minutes notice, you're thinking, what do I take? What do I grab? And that's not the time to be thinking about that. So we're going to be talking about that in some more broadcasts about being better prepared. I just have to have a drink, sorry. This is Kangen water too. Okay, so we want to talk about Fire and Flood. He can grab his information because it's all online. He doesn't have inventory to worry about. He doesn't have reports to worry about, but he does need to consider in network marketing how to get into his account so that his family and friends or loved ones can access it when needed. So we do have to prepare for that, because that's where all your documents, that's where all your revenue, that's where all your information will be kept. And if the other people do not know how to get it, then we're going to not be any wiser. And it's going to be a huge headache and huge problem when it comes time to doing that. So they do a lot of going on trips, and found that every time he was in a plane, he talked about not having a will. And I know that there's many of you that don't have a will. And if you do anything this year, please, please do a will. If you write it on paper, if you get a lawyer to do it, if you get a notary to do it, please, please, for your sake of your personal family members and yourself, please get a will, because that will tell what your wishes are, at least some of them, not all of them, but some. So please go ahead and get that done, and that will help you tremendously as well. So the last thing we talked about was the digital world and how nothing is in paper anymore. And if nothing comes in paper, how does your friends and family know where to find it? If you can't get into your computer, if you don't know where your accounts are, what you owe, things are coming out automatically and it needs to get stopped, or if your hydro needs to get paid, whether you're in a business, self-employed, or personal level, it's all the same. And we need to be better prepared in having something written out, what needs to be paid monthly, and that's also in the app. And we have a digital copy on our online page at yourbackupPlan.ca that can help you look at having that in paper form. You can then add that to your app and put it in, take a picture of it and have that in your app so that people know where to find all these accounts. So I'm sorry for giving everyone the bare news of being better prepared, whether you're in a network marketing company or whether you are in a business or self-employed or a retail shop or service. We need to look at this, and each week we're going to have another person that's going to tell us their story. And I hope that I can show and share some good information about how we can be better prepared. And please stay safe. Please wear a mask. We're in coronavirus still, and wherever you are in the country, we're all in the same boat, so to speak. And please stay healthy, please stay safe, and stay tuned. Watch our podcast on Spotify at Your Backup Plan. And stay tuned for next week, because we have a great guest interview for our live broadcast on Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And I look forward to seeing every one of you here. And I look forward to liking, subscribing, and sharing. Please, if you have a family member that should be watching some of this information who needs help in getting better prepared, please like, share, and subscribe. And I appreciate every one of you and look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so much for coming out. Bye for now.